I thought roosters crowing at the sunrise was a movie thing, like you only saw it in the cartoons. Nope, real. First morning, the rooster woke me up. I thought, oh, okay. Next day, dawn again. I thought, wait, so does this happen every morning? It does. Sarah got the idea to come up here. Nobody believes me when I say this, because she went to a rustic-themed wedding. I didn't point out how mental that was. I didn't point out that moving to the Catskills because you attended a ceremony in a barn is like moving to Belize because you had a nice trip to the Rainforest Cafe. But well, she wanted it. It was right after our third kid. She'd said, Graham, I want out of Manhattan. I want out of the pressure cooker. It's so awful here. I'm like, pressure cooker? What the hell are you talking about? You work for a non-profit. She's like, I want a simpler life. I'm like, what's simpler than working for a non-profit? A vegetative state? And she says, why do you need to be better than everyone? That winds up being a 10-minute fight. I mean, 2 weeks later, we visit her old college roommate in Beacon, and she just looks at me, and I go, okay, sweetie, well, let's do it. I can't say no to her, which is how we ended up with that third kid. So Sarah gets her simple life with the corn and the soybean and enough animals for 2 nursery rhymes. But it turns out I hate it. I'm a pressure cooker guy. I need a project. I need motivation and proximity to a decent onion bagel. And the bad mood just lasts for 3 months. And the rooster doesn't help. Anyhow, we're at the store in town, the one store. We run into our neighbours, Matt and Tara. Matt, is a real clod, says, so, Graham, how are you finding Millerton? And Sarah goes, oh, Graham's dealing with a bit of culture shock. And it takes everything I've got not to tell them, it's not the culture that's shocking me, but rather the total absence of it. And Matt offers to come over. Well, he invites himself and his wife, honestly, to give some pointers, which is how I end up walking my own farm with a total stranger giving me unsolicited advice. He's got a comment for everything, and it's kind of okay until we get to the chickens. I don't even like the chickens. Sarah bought them because she wanted fresh eggs and something to Instagram, and I know nothing. But Matt is leaning over one of them, and he's fully serious here, and he says, who's this sweet girl? Like, Matt knows that the chicken doesn't have a name. He knows that I've got no idea whether or not it's a girl, and he knows that I don't give a flightless fuck. I've got to give an answer, so I say, that one's called Catherine. He says, well, she's a bit thin. It'd be good if she had a bit more room to move around and some richer corn. I genuinely choke down this boiling feeling, and I just nod. And Matt could leave me alone, but he twists the knife, and he's like, hey, no shame, brother. You'll figure it out. I was where you are a few years ago. Now, the yield on my hands is unreal. I want to knock out one of his bicuspids, but I'm also a bit thrown because actually I don't really know what he means by yield. And we sit down to dinner, and Matt is a hurricane of useless anecdote. At one point, Matt talks about the local bird calls he's learned. And he does a bird call. He does another bird call. Another. 6 bird calls. 0 self-awareness. The yellow warbler, greater nightjar, wood thrush, mourning dove, the common cardinal, and a European woodcock, which, by the way, not even native to the region. It's indeed European. I looked it up. So the only conceivable reason he's doing it is to show off. And he's so proud of it, you can tell. And then he does the rooster. My rooster. And it's dead on, bang on. I hate how impressed I am by it. And Matt says, I also do a pretty good alarm clock. So Sarah laughs. And I look at Matt. And all of a sudden, I'm out of my mood. Not because it's a good joke. I mean, it's the worst one I've ever heard. But because this feeling, I know. Loathing. Oh God, it's so familiar. I know loathing from business school, and then from business. Farming, I know jack about, but a roiling crabbiness that sweats out of every pore. That I can work with. The rest of the meal, I'm smiling. I'm downright chipper. And Sarah, she knows me too well, so she's looking at me with these what the hell eyes. But I've been polite. What can she say? I walk Matt to the door, and when we say goodbye, I squeeze his hand till it hurts. He doesn't do anything. Just looks right back, and he goes, "Good luck with those chickens, eh?" And I grow some balls. I say, "Matt, worry about your own fucking chickens." And he goes, "You think you're the first rich guy to buy a farm?" So, first thing I did was fix the coop. Red oak, Dutch, it's custom made, $5,000. Each chicken is fed and drugged up like a Russian gymnast. Hired an agricultural consultant, and farm's expanding its operations. We're selling products, profitable. I'm actually leaning into this a bit. The neighbours are a little worried. Like Manhattan or middle of nowhere, you can make anywhere into a pressure cooker. You can crush skulls anywhere. The simple life. It's only simple if you make it so. That's the American woodcock, motherfucker.